Choose wisely.
Take as much as you need. It won't cost you a penny. Don't be shy. Fish? Fresh fish? Take as much as you need. It won't cost you a penny. Don't be shy. We have enough for everyone.
I've heard that I can find an organization hereabouts that goes by the name of the EOD. Am I in the right place?
You sure are. I happen to be a representative of the EOD. Pleased to meet you. My name's Anna. Can I help you with something?
Charles Reed. Just a few questions, if I may.
Of course. Ask away, Charlie.
What is the EOD? I mean, what do you do as an organization?
Well, we are a non-profit charitable organization. Actually, it's better to say that we're a gathering of volunteers. We're not an official charity yet. As for what we do, we try to help ease the suffering in our city as much as we can.
Oh, and how do you do that?
We provide fish for the hungry and fix the homes of the poor. We also patrol the streets at night to keep the wild beasts and bandits at bay. And many, many more things. Whatever needs doing. Anything to help the people, Charlie.
It's been great chatting with you, but I'm actually here to speak with the EOD leadership. You know where I can find them?
Not so fast, Charlie. Nobody meets the top brass without being a member. You need to earn a rank in the EOD first.
Oh, you're kidding me. What for?
You need to prove yourself. Show us through your actions that you're worth our time. No offense, Charlie.
How can I join?
That all depends on what skills you can offer us. What do you do best?
Well, I'm afraid my resume's in my other jacket. Let me see. I was in the Navy during the war, and ever since it ended, I've been a private eye.
The sea provides. Turns out we have a job that's a perfect fit for you.
You need me to sail somewhere? I have a boat.
As much as I'd love to go sailing with you, I actually had something else in mind.
Okay. Tell me more about this job.
Well, last night someone tried to break into our fish storage room. Luckily, the guards scared him off, but I fear they'll be back to finish the job. That's why we've been busy today giving away all the fish to the people. We'd rather it get into the hands of the needy than to some thief.
And you want me to find whoever this thief is, right?
You're smart, Charlie. I like it. Exactly.
Fine. Count me in.
Good. Thank you. Here's the address. Tell the guard the password, I serve the sea, and he'll let you into the storeroom.
See you later.
You got business here.
I serve the sea. Anna sent me here to investigate the recent break-in.
Sea be praised. Finally. I'm Daryl Grimes. How can I help you?
What's the deal with the password and such?
Orders from the higher-ups. I don't get to ask why.
Can you tell me what happened? Don't skimp on the details.
Not much to tell, sadly. It was a man, that much I know. He snuck in while I was upstairs, tried to steal the fishies, but I heard him. Nearly got him with a harpoon by Kay, but I missed in the dark. He got away, that Dane, but I wonder, why steal what you can get for free?
Yeah, that's a bit of a puzzler. And what did he steal?
Nothing. I scared him off before he could.
What did this burglar look like?
Same height as you. Not too big, not too small. Nothing to write home about. An average Joe. If not for his, bald head. That guy was as bald as an egg. I could see the moonlight reflecting off the top of his head.
Where did he go after that?
Don't know, pal. He was way faster than me.
All right. Well, that's enough for now, Mr. Grimes. I've got to go to work.
Here, take the key. May the sea bless you.
Wow. It pierced a good inch of solid wood like it was nothing. The hall's fresh, still smells of the sea. No signs of decomposition at all. That's a fancy-looking bottle. Looks like it was taken from a lab somewhere. And there's some kind of powder left on the bottom. I better not touch it. It could be dangerous. Thing's dead as a doornail, but I don't see any wounds. So first it ate the fish, and now it's dead. That's troubling. I have questions. This guy must really be into his hobby to have such impressive tools. I found a hidden room full of shackles and chains downstairs. Looks like some kind of torture chamber. Know anything about it?
What? Stop talking drunk. That can't be true. I know this place top to bottom.
Now, Daryl, you know I'm a detective. And if you're lying, I'm going to find out one way or another.
I've got nothing to do with it, I swear, Mr. Reed. Go ask Anna. She's responsible for renting the place. I know nothing about this.
Okay. I'll talk to Anna. We'll see if your story holds up. See ya.
May the sea protect.
Wow. It pierced a good inch of solid wood like it was nothing. Nice work. When I was a kid, I would have gone nuts for this. Well, if it was finished, that is.
Come back, you thief. I'll show you not to mess with us.
Just a little bit more. Oh no. I hope Professor Westerbrook never learns about this.
Darn pests. Mayor, take them.
Okay, let's see what we have here.
I hope Professor Westerbrook never learns about this. Just a little bit more. Oh no.
Darn pests. Mayor, take them. Come back, you thief. I'll show you not to mess with us.
A man broke into the fish storage, poisoned the fish with an unknown substance, then made a noise which alerted the guard, who chased him out.
You dig up anything interesting?
I sure did. Turns out our friend here wasn't here to rob the place. He came to poison the fish.
By the sea. Are you sure?
Well, that's what the evidence suggests, anyway.
Okay, this is horrible. Please don't tell Anna it was my fault, or she'll have me quartered.
Anna will quarter you. You're joking about that, right?
Wish I was. Anna, she's ruthless when it comes to punishing the guilty, EOD member or not.
That's unexpected. Huh. Don't worry, I won't tell her. You seem like a decent sort, Daryl. I'll make something up.
Thanks, Mr. Reed. Here's a little something to express my gratitude. Take care now. Still, I've done wrong and I deserve to be punished. I'll stay on guard duty for the next month without a day off. You have my word.
All right, you go ahead and do what you gotta do, I guess. Can you remind me where I can find the Oakmont University?
You can't miss it. It's the greatest thing Oakmont has to offer, except maybe our famous caramelized eel stew. Give me your map. There you go. But don't forget to first report your findings to Anna.
See ya.
May the sea protect you.
Take as much as you need.
I've got news about your fish storage problem.
Oh, I'm all ears, Charlie.
It only looked like a robbery. Some guy broke into the storage to poison the fish. Near as I can tell, he succeeded, at least partially. I realize it's a lot to take on faith. Look, I've got a sample of what I think is the poison, though I can't identify it yet.
Sea protect us. That's terrible. What kind of man would do such a thing, and why?
I don't know, but I aim to find out.
We need to stop distributing the fish. We have to let everyone know about this. Kay knows how many people might already be affected.
What do you want me to do with the poisoner once I find him?
I'd bring an end to him right there if I were you. The police and court are useless these days.
That wasn't the deal. I'm a detective, not a hitman.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Report to me when you find him. I'll see that the reward will be more than handsome, if you know what I mean.
I'll, see what I can do.
One thing still bothers me. The guard at the storage, Daryl. What was he doing at the time?
Your guard was vigilant. He fought bravely, but the poisoner knocked him out. You ask me, he deserves a raise.
Good old dependable Daryl. I hope he's okay. I'll see he gets his due. Goodbye, Charlie.
I've found what looks suspiciously like a dungeon in the basement of your fish storage. Care to explain?
Excuse me? You've found what?
A dungeon. Chains, shackles, and blood. Ring any bells?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds awful. We only started renting the place a few weeks ago. Goodness. I'm going to have to ask our landlord several uncomfortable questions, it seems. Thanks for the heads up, Charlie.
See you later.
stuff in Oakmont. All on sale. Today only.
Welcome to the University of Oakmont. How can I help you?
I'm looking for Professor Westerbrook. You know where I can find him?
You're the one bringing him the specimen?
Specimen?
Never mind. He's in the Department of Medicine. Let me show you.
You recognize this bottle? You know where it comes from?
Sorry. We have hundreds of bottles like this in the university.
Fine. I need to know what's in it. Any suggestions?
You need an analysis. Well, I'm sure someone from the Department of Medicine can help there.
You have a good day.
Goodbye, sir.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Oakmont University Department of Medicine. I'm Samuel.
Charles Reed, private investigator. I have a few questions if you don't mind. You recognize this bottle? Maybe you could tell me what's inside.
That's one of our lab bottles. We have a lot of them. As for what's inside, I'd need to run some tests.
Yeah, could you do that for me?
These tests aren't cheap. And the other day I could get right to it, but we're, somewhat hindered right now.
What's up?
Our lab is crawling with, well, creatures. Professor Westerbrook's research is a little unconventional, and something went wrong. Really wrong.
So, if I do a little pest control for you, you'll run those tests for me. For free?
Our budget is tight. You'd be helping the cause of science, Mr. Reed. Isn't that enough?
Oh, I guess science could help itself.
All right. Yes, you solve our problem, and I'll run the test for you. Off the books. Here's the key for the basement.
The door won't budge. What kind of person would even touch this? Not to mention dissect it. I wonder what would happen if I press this button. Should I or shouldn't I? Some serious equipment they've got here. Oakmont University is clearly well funded. I'm glad this thing is dead. Why do they even keep it here? So very tempting. Your lab is certified creature-free.
Excellent, Mr. Reed. You've done us a great favor. Now we can get things up and running again.
Okay. I've done my part. Here's the bottle. Now you run those tests.
Yes. Wait here. It shouldn't take long. We finished that analysis, sir. It's ricin.
Ricin?
A highly toxic poison extracted from castor beans. It's slow-acting, but absolutely fatal to humans.
How can you tell if someone's been poisoned with ricin?
The symptoms take several days to develop. At first, it's like a common cold. But over several days, it develops into hemorrhage, internal organ failure, and death. It's not a pleasant way to die.
So, where do you get ricin? This isn't something you can pick up from a drugstore.
About that. It is rare, but we have a certain amount of it here. For study, in our poison store. Or we did. I'm afraid that must be where it came from. The label had been tampered with, but it certainly looks like ours. Where did you find it?
Crime scene. Someone was trying to poison a bunch of fish with it.
This is horrible. I need to warn everyone in the university about this.
Who's got access to where the poison's stored?
Only Professor Westerbrook has the key. His office is upstairs, right alongside Professor Cavendish's. Professor Westerbrook's not...
Where do they live?
I'm not sure, but probably somewhere in Advent. Most of the teaching staff live there. Wait, you don't think it was one of them?
I'm working on that. Can you let me upstairs?
All right. This is serious. I'll help you. Here's the key, but please don't disturb the professor's things.
I'd like to know a bit more about your professors.
What do you want to know?
I want to know more about Westerbrook.
He's the head of our department. He's been here for, at least 30 years. He's one of the longest-serving staff we have. As you've already seen, he's particularly interested in the wild beast that recently appeared in our city.
Yeah, that's quite the unique fauna you have there.
I've no idea how he did it, but Mr. Throgmorton's men brought him live specimens for his research. He thinks he's on the verge of a breakthrough in evolutionary theory. A secret that, once revealed, will benefit all humankind.
Some secret should stay buried, 6 feet under.
You're not a man of science, are you? It's not about why, it's about what if.
What can you tell me about Professor Cavendish?
He's one of the most brilliant teachers we have here. A PhD at only 25. Just imagine. His biochemistry studies are second to none, worthy of a Nobel Prize. If he could complete his work.
What's his problem?
I don't know. There's some kind of family trouble. It's made him standoffish and irritable, and easily distracted. I hope he gets through whatever he's going through. We need his talent, especially in these dark times.
I'll see you later.
This should be good enough to make a decent copy.
The door won't budge. These bottles look exactly the same as the one with the poison. I'll see you later.
That's nothing up, man. All I'm saying. That's nothing up, man. All I'm saying.
door won't budge. And judging by the layer of dust on it, this ring hasn't been worn in a long time. So why keep it around? The door won't budge.
I loved you. I always loved you.
A lot of fancy dresses locked away in a dark corner for a long time. I'm starting to smell some deep family trauma here. Judging by the layer of dust on it, this ring hasn't been worn in a long time. So why keep it around? This Cavendish guy did an impressive investigation. And the EOD's in the center of all of it. This Cavendish guy did an impressive investigation. And the EOD's in the center of all of it.
George, I can't live like this anymore. There's something I have to tell you.
I don't care what your damn EOD cult demands, Anna! I thought the child was mine! Mine!
You will never understand our cause! My child is blessed by the sea! I'm leaving you, George!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
I don't care what your damn EOD...
George, I can't live. You will never understand our cause! My child is blessed by the sea! I'm leaving you, George! George?
I don't care what your...
You will never understand our cause! My child is blessed by the sea! I'm leaving you, George!
George Cavendish. He had a wife named Anna. She had a baby that was not his, but blessed by the sea and claimed by the EOD. This caused their split.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Calm down. My name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator.
Right now, you look like someone who's breaking into my house. A burglar. Explain yourself.
No, Cavendish. Time for you to do some explaining. Care to tell me why you poisoned the fish at the EOD warehouse? And you better not lie to me. Oh, sorry. Is this making you angry? Yeah, two can play at that game, and believe me, I've got plenty of anger for the both of us.
How dare you?
I'm only going to ask politely once. Then my gun will do the talking.
Fine. Fine. Yes, it was me. But I had a good reason to do it. It all comes back to Anna.
Oh, this should be fun. What's your good reason for poisoning innocent people? You know the EOD are feeding the hungry, don't you?
No, that's exactly the problem. They're not doing it out of charity. They do it to spread their influence and recruit new members. Some of those initiates, as they call them, vanish without a trace. And not just them. They kidnap ordinary folks, too.
And poisoning the fish would prevent this how?
Oh, you see, not everyone in this city believes in the EOD yet. They have opposition among the citizens, both rich and poor. A rumor of the EOD's fish being poisonous and several incidents would be enough to undermine the EOD by sparking fear and mistrust.
What's Anna got to do with all this?
As you might have already gleaned, she was my wife.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it all starts to come together now.
The EOD robbed me of her. It all started with the free fish. We were all short on food at the time, and then they hooked her with their nonsense about the benevolent sea and greater good. I looked past it for some time, but then...
She became pregnant.
Yes. At first, I was over the moon. But then one day she came to me, that snake, and told me that the child was not mine. She said it was blessed by the sea, that it was demanded by the EOD. Doomed take them! I couldn't stand it. I just couldn't.
There must be another way to deal with the EOD. Like, if their crimes are that obvious, why don't you just go to the police?
They're resourceful, those sons of hagfish. They maintain a squeaky clean image, and they're good at it. I tried going to the police. They were no help at all. And I'm not suicidal enough to make it public and take them to court.
So what's your next move?
I was interrupted and couldn't finish my task. The EOD received a fresh haul of fish, but now they're on alert and raised their guard. I understand I'm in no position to ask. But after reviewing all the facts I've presented to you, Mr. Reed, would you agree to help me?
What did she mean, blessed by the sea?
What do you think is the cause of Innsmouth syndrome in people?
Living in Innsmouth?
That K-forsaken place has nothing to do with it. It comes from breeding with monsters. These sea creatures they call Deep Ones. They take our women and they spoil them with their seed. Then they give birth to degenerate fish-faced offspring.
Where did you learn all of this? This information about the EOD?
After Anna left, I had nothing. But I did have a lot of time to research Innsmouthers, the EOD, and the story behind them. It is an old and powerful organization. They appeared back in the mid-19th century in Innsmouth, and the first people with the Innsmouth syndrome started showing up around that same time.
Perhaps not coincidentally.
Of course not. And the EOD is immensely rich. The sudden rise to power of the Blackwood family happened right after they joined them.
You're a madman, Cavendish. You're willing to let innocent people suffer and die just to get revenge on your ex-wife. No, this madness has to stop. And I'm gonna put an end to it right now.
Oh, no. You don't understand. Ah!
Your vote is your choice. Choose wisely.
Take as much as you need. It won't cost you a penny.
I found the poisoner and dealt with him. He won't be bothering you anymore.
See, bless you, Charlie. That's great news. Who was it?
Well, see, now that's the interesting part. It was your ex-husband, George Cavendish.
Oh. Well, that son of a rotten shark finally got what was coming to him. Good riddance. Still, strange. I never thought he'd have the guts to do something like this. He was always a pushover.
You're taking this remarkably well for a woman who just found out her ex-husband was a poisoner.
He's nobody to me. The EOD is my family now. We serve a higher purpose than he could ever grasp. My life finally has meaning. You've done us both a huge favor by relieving him of the burden of his miserable existence. Well done, Charlie.
All right. No more messing around. Get me in touch with your Grand Poobah or whoever's in charge, now.
Easy there, Charlie. I'm a woman of my word. Go to the basement of the fish market. It's nearby. You'll find an innsmouther there by the name of Maurice. Tell him I've sent you. You'll get your answers.
About time.
Do you want a fishy?
This used to be an okay place to live.
What are you selling, mister? I don't see any goods.
I offer what everyone in this Borg needs most. Safety and comfort. You a newcomer? Where are you staying?
The Devil's Reef Hotel.
Oh, old Victor always thinks so small. A man of your talents could earn his board 100 ways. Maybe you want some more spending money?
Got a job for a private eye, mister? I'm always up for a good side gig.
That's what I like to hear. I'm Walter. I need someone capable to take care of an issue on my property. Local fauna, if you know what I mean.
Real estate's a risky business. How'd you get into it?
All my life I was a common fisk trader. But I wanted more. I dreamed of being a landlord. A man who never works. So I scrimped and saved, and bought several houses. Gonna rent them to the refugees and newcomers. And I have even greater plans.
Let me guess. You need a gun for hire. Or is there another task?
I need you to place these incense burners on the top floor of my properties to drive off the wild beasts. Take a photo for me as proof.
Smoke that repels wild beasts. Does that even work?
Of course it will. No doubt. I bought it from a friend I trust.
Well, okay. Just give me the address. See you later.
Hey, Mr. Reed.
Do I know you, buddy?
Not yet, but I know you. I also know you're looking for a particular lady. My name's Fred. You're looking for Professor Doe, ain't that right? The scientist the Order kidnapped. I think we can help each other.
How do you mean? You know where she is?
Slow down, buddy. Helping each other is not the same as let me just tell you everything.
What is this order you mentioned?
Yeah. You don't know, do you? EOD. It really stands for the Esoteric Order of Dagon.
Dagon?
An old being from the depths of the sea. In books, they show him as a monstrous amphibian. The Innsmouthers worship him as a god. And of course, they make sacrifices to him. In blood.
Nothing's for free in this city, is it? Figures. All right. Shoot.
You won't regret it. You've seen some of this city now, am I right? You've an inkling what's coming? I want out of the Order and the city before it hits. Trouble is, it's much easier to get into the Order than to leave. Give the slightest hint of it. You've signed your death warrant. I need somebody to get me out of the city on the quiet. And that's not an easy thing these days, my friend.
I've no idea how to help you with that.
Ain't you a detective? There are people in the city, smugglers, who know what to do. Find them. That's how you can help. See, I've heard whispers about ads in the newspaper. A new ad every week, talking about Salvation Harbor. Maybe start there.
All right, fine. I'll look into it. But your lead on the professor had better be worth it.
I know where they've got her. I can get you there. You just find me a way out fast, or I might be too dead to be any use to you.
I know who's behind Professor Doe's kidnapping. It's an organization called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Most of them stick to the fish market, but they seem to have agents everywhere. Even the university.
I knew there was something fishy about the EOD, the den of those filthy Innsmouthers. I'll tear it to the ground.
Actually, most of the EOD members I met were locals. And for what it's worth, the only Innsmouther I spoke to was a nice guy. You ought to examine your prejudices.
Are you calling me a bigot, Reed?
Well, that's how you're acting. The Innsmouthers didn't want to end up here, and they didn't do it to spite you. Your hatred leaves them no choice but to retaliate. Can't you see the vicious cycle here?
They killed my son, for Kay's sake!
One man. Not all of them. If you keep tarring every Innsmouther with the same brush, you'll radicalize them. And then all this will happen again. The only reason the EOD gained power here is because Innsmouthers had nowhere else to turn. You have to stop being part of the problem.
I shall try to think about what you have said.
Back to business. I'll continue my search for Professor Doe. I have a promising lead. You have anything else to tell me?
Your task remains the same.
Find Harriet and bring her back. You say we are dealing with an entire organization? Well, I have something for you that might help our cause should things take a turn. Now leave. I've heard enough from you.